I'm Billy S, welcome back to the channel. Today we're discussing a topic nobody either cares about or wants to watch a video on, as I reveal my top 10 favourite Dark Souls ladders! I am so excited. Ladders are a pinnacle of game design, being used to provide a way to a different height level without the use of those pesky stairs or elevators. In Soulsborne games, there are a variety of iconic ladders that range from short, sweet, lengthy, and petite. But I guarantee, even if you think this topic is dumb, there's at least one ladder in the Soulsborne series you can come up with if someone goes, "Tell me a cool Soulsborne ladder," quickly. This video was supposed to be a ranking of every ladder in Dark Souls 1, but after scripting that video, I didn't feel particularly pleased with the result. Too many ladders with not enough overall talking points, which is why we're cutting it down to a simple top 10. Before we get started, let me give you a quick few ladder facts about Dark Souls 1. There are a grand total of 85 ladders in the original Dark Souls. 17 areas within the game contain ladders you can climb, with 9 areas not having any ladders to speak of. I'm basing this off of my area rankings video from a few weeks ago, link in the top right corner. The area with the most ladders is, to nobody's surprise, Blighttown, with 31 across the level. The two areas tied with the least amount of ladders are the Depths, whose only ladder is connected to the level shortcut, and Ulysseal Township, whose only ladder is used to drop onto a platform containing one of the mage enemies. And over 90% of my viewers aren't subscribed to the channel, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's rectify that. Now with those fun ladder facts out of the way, let's rank my top 10 ladders in Dark Souls 1. And be sure to tell me your favourite Soulsborne ladder in the comments below, as well as telling me I've been scraping that barrel. Starting off our list at number 10, we have the first ladder in the Undead Asylum, which you can find after exiting your starting chamber and heading down the corridor. This simple rusted iron ladder is your ticket up to the main portion of the level, and the first of many ladders you'll experience on your journey across Lordran. This is a legacy ladder, someone who has so much clout just by proxy of being the first ladder in the game, that they take away a spot on this list from far more deserving ladders later in the game, because of course we can't have fairness in this incredibly important serious ranking video. Dark Souls did the thing, Undead Asylum Ladder 1, My Woman King. That's a reference for the gays. Now, to ensure nobody tries to cancel our number 10 placement ladder just because it was a legacy ladder, I've taken the liberty of creating a couple of honourable mentions, so let's just run through this very quickly. This ladder from Blighttown. 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 This ladder from... At number 9, we have the escape ladder in the Duke's Archives prison tower. This ladder is to your left as you leave your prison cell, and atop it lies the locked doorway you can use to escape the prison. This ladder is iconic for a few reasons. Firstly, it's not attached to a wall, we love an independent ladder. Secondly, you can see how much usage this ladder gets, as the snake guards of the prison like to climb it when the prison experiments come out to play. This can result in actual fights on the ladder if you're feeling fruity enough. As an honourable mention, I'll also add the ladder at the bottom of the prison tower to this list, not because it's an iconic ladder, but because when you climb up the ladder, you come face to face with the prison's record player, blasting a sound throughout the prison that only the experiments can probably understand. In fact, you know what? In the opening cutscene when you escape your cell, when the player first starts playing that sound, if I just decode it like this, I think I can figure out what it's saying.
Let loose, I said let loose. I'm giving you permission, you've got no excuse. Common Queen of the Thunder.
At number 8, we have an infamous ladder whose placement on this list comes not out of love, but out of sheer hatred. Yes, I'm talking about the deadly Ghost House ladder from the New Londo ruins. For anyone yet to play Dark Souls, the Ghost House refers to this building in New Londo that is filled to the brim with ghost enemies. It is hell, and I guarantee you have probably died there at least once if you've played this game. But you need to go through and climb up the lovely chimney ladder if you wish to progress the level. This is one of the few ladders in this game that is completely unsafe, as the ghosts will follow you up to a certain point, so you better pray you have enough health to make it to Ingwood on the roof. Sometimes you have to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Maybe this is taking the phrase too literally. At number 7, I'm pairing 2 ladders together into one entry because it's the 2 ladders leading out of Pinwheel's boss room. On a pure aesthetic basis alone, the stone ladders carved into the coffin look stunning, and provide a nice memorable way out of the boss arena of one of the hardest fights in the game. But I'll let you in on a little secret. This ladder type is also my least favorite in the game. The assets are of course reused within Tomb of the Giants, and I won't hesitate to say that that area has the worst 8 ladders in the entire game. Partly because it's Tomb of the Giants, and partly because enemy placement and ladder route is just botched when the majority of the ladders here are used to escape. Especially the ladders leading into the coffin containing the large divine ember, which you can't even go down without getting slain. So why does Pinwheel's ladder rank in the top 10, while these guys languish in last place despite having the same ladder aesthetic? It's very simple. Pinwheel is my precious baby, and he does not deserve to have his beautiful penthouse suite at the peak of the Tomb of the Giants be pulled down and mocked because some overly rowdy neighbors are having a LAN party down the road. Respect my family, man. Woman? Child? At number 6, we have this extremely large ladder within the Duke's archives. In order to open up the shortcut back to the main bonfire, you need to find your way to this ladder's top and make your way down to trigger the lever at the bottom. This ladder mainly places this high due to the sheer size, as it means you get a nice slide down or climb up when you use it. But this ladder doesn't reach my top 5 because of one fatal flaw: the enemy at the top, just out of range of melee. When climbing up the ladder, perhaps maybe to farm the channelers for their rare weapon as an example that I totally don't have experience with, that enemy will constantly fire at you. It's rude, irritating, and ruins the sanctity of such a beautifully crafted ladder. So no top 5 for the Duke's archives, I'm afraid. As it turns out, a majority of the most iconic ladders in Dark Souls 1 come from the game's opening area. So let's start out with a ladder that was able to teach us all a lesson: the Taurus Demon ladder. Behind you and to your right as you enter the fog gate, this ladder is a sneaky little snake, and most players won't even think to turn and see it until they feel the sting of an arrow in their back. Because this ladder leads up to a circular tower containing 2 archers, you need to kill them to make your life a little easier. Beyond that, the ladder also gives you an easy way to plunging attack the upcoming boss, or lure him onto higher ground for a wider area to fight. This ladder has so much versatility, and that's what we want to see from our best of the best ladders. You need to stand out from the crowd of ordinary ladders and show that you're a true star, and worthy of being featured on this incredibly professional video for incredibly iconic ladders. At number 4, we have a rather unique ladder in the Undead Burg that is less famous for the ladder itself, and more so for the potential it opens up by allowing you to climb it. This ladder past the Undead Merchant is a pretty simple gal, until you realize she's got a secret. If you reach the top of this ladder and roll off at a specific angle, you can land on this balcony, and then roll off to the right. This takes you over the edge of the level and drops you down into lower Undead Burg, allowing you to skip needing to use the basement key and the first set of assassins. For anyone looking to take out Capra and visit the depths extremely early, this is a worthwhile little shortcut that can certainly save some time out of your run, and it couldn't have been done without this iconic number 4 ladder. You know, it's not about length, it's about how you use it. Are words I am choosing to ignore, because at number 3, we have a fairly normal sized ladder. It's the iconic Undead Burg shortcut ladder. Do I even need to explain why this places as high as it does? The subtle reveal that by kicking this ladder you've just looped back around to your previous bonfire was mind-blowing on a first playthrough. Nowadays, I feel this ladder may have lost some of the charm it used to have as people get more and more familiar with Lordran's world, but this ladder set the tone for shortcuts to come, setting the precedent for the elevator from the Parish to Firelink as a main example. Plus, who doesn't love kicking a ladder every once in a while? Get some of that internalized rage at the patriarchy out while thinking about your next move. At number 2, our final Undead Burg ladder goes to the Basement Key ladder, leading down to the lower Undead Burg. Sitting at a healthy 50 rungs, this is the second longest ladder in Dark Souls 1, and comfortably so, meaning you get a lot of bang for your buck. Naturally, this ladder places in my top 2 because it's such a lengthy queen at such an early stage in the game. You're not expecting a massive ladder, and then BAM! They hit you with one of the best, and you're like, wow, that's a really big ladder. It's a shame that the aesthetic isn't particularly strong, as you're climbing down the inside of the wall without much room for self-expression, and since I don't tend to visit the lower Undead Burg as much as I used to, this ladder doesn't get as much use. But it just means when I do revisit it, the nostalgia hits me like an old flame, and I think about all the good times we had together. For the first time in Billy S channel history, we have a tie! Winner winner 2 chicken dinners. The Darkroot Basin Shortcut Ladder, and the Calamite Boss Arena Ladder. Congratulations, you're both winners, baby. In all seriousness, I couldn't separate this iconic pair of ladders connected across time and space. I've said it before in previous videos, and I will say it again. I love this pair because they are the exact same ladder in the exact same place, just in different time periods. The DLC took an already iconic back entrance into Darkroot Forest and recontextualized it into a descent into one of the toughest bosses in the game. Now, it's worth noting that the Darkroot Basin variation is, I believe, longer than the Calamite variation, which to some would spoil the magic. But I am an ally and will fight for my LADDER+ community to make sure that these ladders both get the equal rights they deserve to be recognized as the best ladders or ladder in Dark Souls 1. Twinner ladders for the win, let's go. I can't do this, Jesus Christ. If it wasn't obvious, this was a meme video, and I had a lot of fun writing this. Everything I said in here was all good fun, it was not meant to be taken seriously. Ladders are ladders. And with that, let's shelve this meme and press on. My next video, if all goes well, should be Bloodborne based, so please look forward to the return to Yharnam very soon. Thank you so much for watching. My social links are on screen now. Feel free to follow where you feel comfortable. A massive shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. You guys keep this channel alive, and your continued support means the world. Adios.